right, so now it's where the crickets are going to probably start, because I do two podcasts. One of them is Bachelor Universe, the show, the Bachelor reality TV show on ABC. And the other one, of course, is wrestling. So WWE stuff, any wrestling-related content, I cover it all. So a lot of you out there are fans of wrestling. We're going to be talking about that today. I'm going to start with The Bachelor. So we are now in Bachelor hibernation because, thankfully, because I can't take any more of it. It started in January and pretty much ended and stopped a few weeks ago. So we're good till January. But I'm going to recap a little bit of JoJo's season. JoJo was a bachelorette this season. And basically the two final guys that mattered, that it came down to, was Robbie, who literally looks like a male Ken doll that always wore pink shirts. So a real-life Ken doll. Versus Jordan Rodgers. If that sounds familiar, Jordan Rodgers is the baby brother of Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. So what we learned from the show apparently was more interesting than what happened on the show was that Jordan Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers have a huge feud going on. They don't talk to each other. They don't like each other apparently. And it's not really explained why there's a family feud going on, but apparently what we learned through the show was that Jordan Rodgers has the Rodgers family on his side, and Aaron is the one that's detached from the family. So I don't know if making millions and playing for the Packers had any effect with that. Maybe a celebrity got to his head. But yeah, so it came down to Jordan Rodgers and Robbie, and she went with Jordan Rodgers, and I think that was a pretty obvious call because the whole point, I think, ABC really wanted to capitalize on Aaron Rodgers and the whole family thing. They couldn't get Aaron on the show, but it really drew up a lot of attention for him, having this whole Rodgers family feud front and center on the show. Plus, if he didn't win, he was going to be the Bachelor next year. There's no doubt about it. Ratings equals celebrity equals names. So that was what exactly happened. So that concluded a season of The Bachelorette. Some drama as always, interesting names, and that right away moved into Bachelor in Paradise, which is a crazy show about a bunch of cast-offs from The Bachelor on an island, basically. And they do whatever they want, which is pretty much sleep and hook up, I guess. But on that show, what was the big feud, apparently, was Nick Vale versus Josh Murray. And those two guys were runners-up, and one of them won a few seasons back. And they apparently really hated each other in actual real life. And Nick Vale, this is like the third time he's been on a show. So this guy is like a lifer when it comes to The Bachelor. Apparently he's probably got some lifetime contract. Like he will never date anyone in real life besides on the show because he keeps on coming back. But that was the interesting feud of the season because they were vying for the same woman, and those two guys really dislike each other. And historically, Nick has been like, because they cast basically characters. It's a lot like wrestling in a sense. He was the bad guy through all these seasons, and no one liked him. And this season, the producers and literally flipped the script, and he was made out to be this awesome guy that everyone liked. And so he was painted as the good guy, and Josh, who no one had issues with in the past, was made out to be the crazy bad guy who was there for the wrong reasons. So to see those two go at it against each other, it's pretty entertaining. And there's other stuff. There's Chad. Now, he is literally a creation of ABC because this guy was epitome of like what a douchebag would be, constantly like doing push-ups, like he would hang off like a railing and tie up like his entire suitcase around his waist and do push-ups. I mean, kudos for him to pull it off, but that's really bad. And he was carrying protein shakes around everywhere, and eating meat. That was like the big thing. He probably like bankrupt catering because that dude was eating meat every time they had him on camera. But they threw him on Paradise, and of course he lasted like one day because he created all kinds of chaos and drunkenness. So yeah, it was an entertaining season. They renewed it for the fourth season actually next summer. So I guess ABC's doing well with it, especially now the last few seasons with social media and Twitter. Like, it's so huge how everyone's so interactive with the show. It's bigger than ever in a sense, and it's not dying out. Fortunately and unfortunately, I have something to talk about in that case. But so now the big announcement was of the next Bachelor, right, which starts up in January, and it usually is like the last couple people from like the runners-up from the previous season. But they flipped the script and they picked Nick. So the same guy I just talked about, he's going to be on for the fourth time, solidifying that he's got a lifetime contract because he's the guy that's going to be in charge and running with 25 women. So it's not a bad gig, but he's just, I don't know, he's a sneaky kind of guy from what it seems, and guaranteed to bring a lot of drama, that's for sure. So yeah, that is kind of a recap. We'll find out in January what's going to really happen, but it's all about ratings and not bringing the right people who you would think are actually looking for something serious or want something. It's about bringing the guys that will create most chaos, drama, attention in tabloids, and it's about growing the brand, really, and at the expense of people who might be looking for something serious. So there's that. I did throw in my name. I did audition for the show, so you never know what might happen. Still casting for the next season. So yeah, that's kind of the recap. It's Bachelor hibernation, thank goodness. I will be putting out the last podcast, so Rob, my 7th and 8th podcasts are coming. So that's coming out soon. So yeah. Look out for it in January 2nd. The show's going to be back on. Podcast should be going up anytime soon, the recaps.